Nah.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahshua thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema thumb by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. Priest of episode 50 before Shema, holding down the brotherhood class from today. For Priest of episode 5000 Shalayala.
Right.
I started off how he do it. Let's give the Lord a hand. Brotherhood classes, man.
That's right.
You understand? Because without brotherhood, we'd be out there fighting that fight alone in that room, looking at that wall, ready to lose it all and throw it all away. Brotherhood is very important and very instrumental when building a nation, which is what we are doing right here inside the I.S.U.P.K. New Command Journey YAHANNA. We're building back up the Lord's nation, bringing his children back underneath the same house, underneath the same umbrella, serving the same God with the same laws, keeping our people on one accord. And, you know, this world we live in, they try to teach us and try to promote and push this, you know, money over everything. You got to get it how you live. And all these other terrible things that goes against sisterhood, making our brothers and sisters feel like they are the only one out there. So this class is called Don't Be an Individualite. Be an Israelite. Be who God wanted you to be. God don't want our brothers and sisters out there thinking that they can do it by themselves.
Right.
That they are one man, bad man, that they're some superhero or whatever. That's for the cartoons. There ain't no superheroes. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs a little help. And you shouldn't be ashamed and feel embarrassed to ask or receive that help that's needed. That's called being wise enough to understand you need some help. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but the scripture says, if you find a man wiser than you, wear out his doorstep. How you going to obtain this knowledge? How you going to grow if you're scared to learn from anybody? How you going to be a better person if you don't want to lean on another person for whatever you may need, whether it be wisdom, guidance, some protection, a place to stay, something to eat, anything.
Right.
You know how much brothers wish they would have had somebody to lean on instead of going to do the terrible act of crime that they probably committed that put themselves in that can, got them sitting up in that county jail, wishing they had somebody they could have called that day just to ask to borrow $20, change their whole life. Don't be scared to be in need of the brotherhood, in need of the sisterhood. We should be thankful that the Most High God put these laws in place so that we can have a brotherhood, right, and that we can have a sisterhood. Nothing wrong with being an Israelite. Don't be an individualite. We're gonna go straight into the scripture. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9.
Come.
Because I know everybody got their own story to tell, man. But being out there in that world and feeling like you don't have nobody in your corner, feeling like nobody's got your best interest in mind, or nobody's going to hold you down or help you, in whatever way you need help. It's a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing, and it's a place that I wish no brothers and sisters would be in. It's a mindset that I don't want none of my brothers and sisters to capture and embody. Because when our back is pushed against the wall and we feel cornered in, we usually just start reacting.
Right.
And we usually do the worst thing possible. You know? It's hard to think straight before all that pressure. It's hard to think straight before these deadlines closing in. It's hard to think straight when you got all these naysayers nagging and people watching to see you do bad and fail. But with that brotherhood and that sisterhood that the Most High God put in place, that he installed in his children, because whether you want to believe it or not, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are some of the most loving, peaceful people on the earth.
That's right.
Naturally, we learn evil, nasty, disgusting, filthy things from the evil, nasty, disgusting, filthy oppressor and these other heathen nations that we chase behind.
Right.
Praising and making them feel like there's something special. When you the special person, so-called black man, you the special thing, so-called Hispanic man, right, so-called Native Indian man, woman and child, you the special thing. Right. The Lord calls you the peculiar treasure. These other nations are like dumb. and we picking up their nasty, dumb habits, and you play with doo-doo, it's gonna be messy. Things gonna get messy. It's gonna get dirty and messy and filthy. Following after these nasty, disgusting heathens. You need to follow after the Lord.
That's right.
Whenever you got it, let's get right into it. I ain't even get there, so lock it. I ain't even get there with you. Let me get there with you. Alrighty. Whenever you got it, you can read it, sir.
God, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 9. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave.
Lock it, sir. You got Ecclesiastes?
Ecclesiastes chapter 12.
Chapter 4, verse 9.
Salakia 4, verse 9.
Come on.
Salakia. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. Or I can have it. Come. How can you have it? Two are better than one.
What?
Two are better than one.
So you telling me that right here in the scriptures it says it's better to have somebody than to be by yourself?
Two are better than one.
Two are better than one. You understand? Having somebody to help you through whatever you're going through is better than being by yourself.
Right.
The scriptures say in Genesis that he said it's not good the man be alone. That's why he made woman.
Right.
He didn't want the man to be alone. And if you're a man, you know that two are better than one. If you're a human being in this earth, you know that two are better than one. Your kids want another damn kid. If you got one kid in the house, the kid running around all day asking you for a brother or a sister.
Yeah, right.
Because the kid understands that two is better than one.
Right.
But who's going to help you if there's nobody there? Who's going to talk you out of the bad mood? Who's going to help you smile? Who's going to help you carry that furniture, carry these groceries? Who's going to carry the load of the stress of the world with you?
Right.
Two are better than one.
God.
It is not safe to be an individualite. It is not safe. Walking home, you might want some company with you.
Right.
Them people might take their time trying to try two brothers than you being out there by yourself,
right,
looking like dinner. The wild kingdom, the animals know to attack the single. They wait and see the herd, and they go start moving and running them lions and them cheetahs start chasing them damn gazelles, and they want the one that's in the back.
Sure.
They want the one by himself who can't call for help.
Right.
But if you had somebody there, they could have fought them off because two is what?
Better than one.
Two is better than one, man. Don't be by yourself. Let's get some more of this.
God. Because they have a good reward for their labor.
And because they have a good reward for their labor, man. You out there, you at home with your wife, or you got your son, you got your daughter, you got your brother, you got your sister, you got your aunt, you got your grandma, your grandfather. How many times you come home from a terrible day at work at the slave and everybody disrespecting you, everybody trying your luck today, and you can't wait to get home because you just frustrated. And then you finally walk in the door and you see that, even if it's a damn cat or a dog, you just see that other breathing thing that loves you,
right,
that cares about you, that missed you, that wants to know how you doing. It'll change your whole mood, brighten your spirit, put a smile on your face. They say turn that frown upside down. It can change moods.
Right.
Just having someone there with you.
Right.
No matter how terrible it is. We know we Israel, we black people, man, we done sat in homes in these terrible, tiny jail cell apartments that they put us in with no lights.
Right.
Because we had to pay the rent. But while we got no lights, we got company. We have brothers and sisters and mothers and aunts and grandmas and friends just to be in there with you. And we all in there with the candles lit, playing Monopoly or spades or whatever we doing to pass the time. But imagine you had to sit in that dark house with those candles and that Monopoly game and them cards by yourself.
Right.
It'll drive you crazy. It'll drive anybody crazy. That's why in these damn penitentiaries all across the world, when they get mad at a prisoner, they put him in the box. To test his insanity, right, to try to drive him insane. from being by yourself.
Right.
It is not a good thing. There's a time for it, but more times than not, you want to have brothers and sisters around you.
That's right.
You need interaction with other human beings. And when I say this, of course, I'm talking about your brothers and your sisters. Don't go running around chasing down heathens trying to be friends. I'm talking about so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. We need to be around each other.
Right, right.
We need to be good and gracious with each other. Come on, let's get some more. Let's get on verse 10, Baba Kushak.
Verse 10. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
Say what?
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
So you saying that if one fall, the other one's there to help. Ain't that a good thing?
Right.
Ain't that a beautiful thing?
That's right.
Remember them commercials back in the days with the life alert? I'm falling and I cannot get up. You know why Life Alert made so much money? Because that person was by themselves.
Right.
And that's not safe. It's not good to be by yourself. So now that lady's sitting on the floor in her kitchen on her back, waiting and hoping and praying for somebody to come open the door and come save her.
Right.
But if somebody was there with her, if she had help or another person with her, then the brother would what?
The one will lift up his fellow.
Then somebody would be there to lift you up.
Right.
Somebody would be there to help you out in your time of need. Somebody to lean on. Somebody to talk to. Somebody to look after you. Somebody you can look after. One hand wash the other.
Right.
These things are useful. Being together and being unified is a good thing. But the world we live in, they teaching our brothers and our sisters money over everything.
Right.
Be for yourself. They are teaching our brothers and sisters to be some of the most selfish, disgusting people that they can be.
Right.
And that's because they are the most selfish and disgusting people that they can be.
That's right.
This damn oppressor hates the ones that he hates the people that look like him.
Right.
He's never had peace. He fights with, there's nothing but war in his mind. He's been warring with Esau all over the world. Esau against Esau, against Esau, against Esau. He has no sense of understanding. But the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, the Lord's chosen people, we know better.
Right.
We know better. It's installed in us. That's why we are some of the most kindest, loving, peaceful people on this planet.
Right.
But we need to learn. We need to learn where to share that love and kindness, and how to, because we tend to give it to people that don't deserve it, and then refuse it and hold it back from the brothers and sisters that look just like you.
Right.
Let's get that from the top. Baba Kushak.
Verse 10. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow.
And if one falls, the other one was there to lift you up. You out there, you going through your problems, and you don't know what to do. What the first thing the sister do? She call her girlfriend up on the phone. She call her sister up on the phone. She call her friend. She call somebody to lift her up. She should go to her husband. But you know sometimes.
All right.
So, you know, sometimes they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that stern talk. They just want to hear something nice and sweet. So they go talk to their homegirl, and they're there to lift you up. It's a good thing. The sisterhood is important as well.
That's right.
Sisterhood and brotherhood is synonymous. They are great and they are needed.
That's right.
Let's get some more of that, Baba Kushak.
For woe to him that is alone when he falleth.
And it says, but woe to him that is alone when he fall. That's what's woe? Death or destruction, right?
Right.
Man, we just talked about old lady Annabelle who fell in the kitchen, and she was out there on life alert. She had no batteries in there. She was on the floor laying in her own piss and feces, praying and hoping somebody come open the door.
Right.
But her grandkids not coming to check her because she was so evil and mean. She was all about the money. You understand? She was all about the money growing up. So now she got the money and she's in the house by herself.
Right.
Alone. And the scripture says, woe to him that falleth when he is alone, because who is there to help you up?
Right.
Who has your best interest in mind? Who is there to look out for you when you fall and you're alone?
Right.
Let's get the rest of that.
Right. For he hath not another to help him up.
And he ain't got nobody to help him. She ain't got nobody to help him. Because two are better than one. But we want to follow what these people in this world are teaching us. We want to follow what the masses push out. to keep us in sin, not even understanding what they're doing it for. You understand? We thinking that it's about bettering us. I gotta better me, man. I gotta do what's good for me, man. Like I gotta get this money. You know what I'm saying? You on YOLO, you only live once. We gotta get this money.
Right.
Not understanding that while you're doing that, you are pissing off your Father. You are angering the Most High God. Right. Because the Most High God intended for us to be together. Right. Intended for us to be a nation, loving one another, caring for one another, being compassionate, long-suffering, and forbearing with one another, being forgiving to one another. And these are all traits that we need to be able to be what verse 2 says, 2 being better than 1. Right. Because you don't have these traits, you are going to be the one who fell by himself. You are going to be the brother or sister in the kitchen on the floor with the life alert button that don't work, with nobody there to look out for you, because you're not paying attention to what the Lord says. Right. These laws, these statutes, these commandments are put in place for our good. Right. It's not to do good for the Most High God. The Most High God doesn't need these laws. We need these laws. Right. We need to understand that we need these laws, and we learn to start keeping these laws. That's the end of. That's the end of it. God. All right. We're gonna stop at 12.
God. Verse 11. Again, if 2 lie together, then they have heat.
And it's just more examples of why 2 is better than 1. You in the house, you ain't pay that damn heat. You ain't got no electricity up in there, and that boiler not on, that hot water boiler not on, and it's dead smack middle of December, and you ain't got no love, you ain't got no rib, you ain't got no dog or no kid, nobody's just come cuddle up with you and get some heat. You in there freezing. Right. But if you had 2 people there, you're in the house with your wife, y'all could get up underneath them blankets. You understand? Get that body heat wrapped up. Be in there hotter than a baked potato. Right. House cold as ice, but you warmer than a baked potato up in that there covered with your rib. Right. You understand? Because 2 is better than 1, man. 2 is better than 1. You can get some heat. You can get something going with 2 people.
That's right.
You're in there by yourself. You're going to be moving all over the damn place trying to create somebody heat.
Damn right.
When you could have had somebody heat. Let's get some more of that. Baba Kushai.
Fine. But how can one be warm alone?
How you going to do it by yourself? How can you do it by yourself? These things that we don't pay attention to, these things that we don't give enough credit and enough knowledge to, thinking that we so great by ourselves. Right. I'm not telling my brothers and sisters that we are not great. I'm telling you that the Most High God said the children of Israel is great. That's right. He didn't say you great, Tamika. He ain't say you great, Tasha. He ain't say Sean is great. He ain't say Matthew is great. Right. He said we are a great nation. All of us, every one of us. All them little dots and pieces of sand. Right. All them little stars that made the galaxy. That was what he said was great. He didn't single out nothing. We have to understand these things, man. We have to know these things and keep these things in our heart. To keep ourselves humble and kind enough and righteous enough to even be able to have that other body to produce heat. Right. To be able to have that other body around you to help you up when you fall. So we don't pick up these evil, disgusting, filthy ways, which is turning and pushing our brothers and sisters away from us.
That's right.
Let me get that again from the top.
Verse 11. Again, if 2 lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone?
How can you do these things alone? How can we not remember how much we've learned from other people? How can we not remember how much other people have helped us on our travels, in our lives, in our works, in our studies? How can we not remember how much we need people? Right. There's only 2 involuntary actions that you're going to do by birth. And that's if you're lucky, because some children are born with all types of defects and problems. You understand? But if you're a regular healthy baby, you know how to blink and you know how to use the damn bathroom. Yeah. Everything else is taught to you. Mother taught you how to eat, when to eat, taught you how to walk, how to crawl, how to write, how to speak. Experiences, or a person taught you how to fight. Everything has a teacher. You need people. 2 are better than 1. If we were so great, what would you do by yourself? You would do nothing. You would die. Because first of all, nobody would be able to take care of you when you were a baby. You would die. Don't forget these things. Remember that we need each other. Remember that the Lord made us a great nation together, not individually. Let's get verse 12.
God, verse 12. And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken.
A threefold cord is not quickly broken, man. You understand? If somebody prevail against him, two shall stand with you. It's better to have help with you in times of trouble. We can talk about that all day, you understand? We can talk about that all day, man. And some people don't understand these things. Why? Because the world we live in, and these figures that we look up to, these, lack of better words, icons to our children and our brothers and sisters. You understand? They role models, these celebrities, these so-called famous people. They don't promote these things.
Right.
They promote the same thing that the oppressor does because they're chasing underneath the oppressor to get whatever little piece of crumb they can get from underneath them. Not knowing that it's better to starve with your brothers and sisters than to go out there and eat steaks with snakes.
Right.
The scriptures say I'm paraphrasing, of course. It says it's better to die than live a beggar's life than to be out there begging this other nation, to beg these oppressors for a little piece of what they have, a little seat at their table, just a little recognition, a little love, a little look, a little shout out, whatever you're doing it for. It's better to be around your brothers and sisters and starve.
Right.
Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 7, Baba Kushab.
God.
And these are things that the so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Indians that are in these so-called high seats and high positions don't promote and don't tell to our children. These are things that the church doesn't promote and doesn't tell to our children.
Wow.
You know how much people I know that tell me they don't go to church because they can't afford it? I'm like, oh, how you doing, Sister Marshall? You ain't go to church this week? So I can't afford it. I ain't have no money. Like, you don't go to church if you don't have no money.
Wow.
That's how it is. Because they pass them collection plates around like they robbing people.
Right.
Then they make you feel bad for being in there with no money. You can't go to church till you get a job. They don't want you unless you got money.
Right.
Because everybody chasing the same nasty, filthy, disgusting garbage as the oppressor is.
That's right.
Whenever you got it, you can read it. Baba Kushab.
Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 7. Or Akimakwa, have it. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates in the land.
And this is the scriptures right here, man. You understand? This is laws.
Right.
It says, if there is among you a poor man, one of thy brethren, you understand? One of your brothers. Not any poor man. Not the guy, not little Chad out there that used to snowboard and his dad kicked him out, and now he's standing on the highway with a sign, and you got so much sympathy and empathy for him, and you slow down on the highway and give him $20. Not him, not Chad from the other nations.
Right.
But we talking about one of your brothers. You understand? The same dude, Rodney, that you stepped over this morning on your way to the train station when you knew he hungry. He just asked you for $1 because he hungry. But you can't stand him. You don't got no energy, no love, no empathy, no sympathy for that man. You stepped over him to go into the train station and give Chad some of your money.
Right.
Because you just feel more comfortable around Chad for some strange reason. Let's get that again from the top.
God. Verse 7. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates in thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart.
It says, thou shalt not harden thy heart, man. The way we treat our brothers and sisters out there that are at, not even at the bottom, man, because that's how mysterious the Lord is, you know? We could be looking at that brother out there thinking he down on his luck and he had rock bottom, and a week and a half time, roles reverse. You be out there at that train station with your damn cup and your blanket.
Right.
Trying to get $1 out of somebody, thinking you better than somebody. You understand? We have to look out for our brothers and sisters, man. It says the poor man from your brethren. The poor man from your family, from one of these nations. That's who you're supposed to be looking out for. Don't harden your heart against them.
Right.
Don't look at them as if you're better than them. Don't look at them as if they're the scum of the earth or they're doing something wrong. Did you forget that there's elaborate, crafty counsel out here to destroy the children of Israel?
That's right.
Did you forget all these nations are planning to destroy us?
Right.
And have all these devices in place to keep us at the bottom? That's right. Because it's not affecting you the same way it's affecting that brother. You think you better than him? You done stepped over him. You talk bad about him. You're harder your heart towards him. The Lord said don't do that. Right. What else does the Lord say?
Nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother.
He said, don't shut your hand from that poor brother. If you can help that brother, help that brother. Don't ask that brother what he needs the money for. If you have the money, help him. If you have the money, help her. Because you would want some damn help if it was you.
Right.
Thinking you better than somebody, man. That's all these ways of the oppressor, man. Got our brothers and sisters thinking that, oh, he out there because he lazy. He out there because he don't want to do nothing. You don't know that man's story or struggle.
Right.
But you should be familiar with it because we have the same story, same struggle, same pain.
That's right.
You should care more about that man's problems. You should empathize and sympathize and relate a little bit more to whatever he's going through. Because it could be you. You ain't nothing but a phone call and a missed paycheck away from what he's going through anyway. Let's get let me get 1 John 3:17. Baba Kushak.
1 John chapter 3, verse 17. Have it.
God.
But whoso have this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him.
It says right here, it says, but whoso hath this world's goods. Who has this world's goods? And I'm not talking about I.S.U.P.K. You know, it's I.S.U.P.K, man. It's house of the Lord. We fine over here. Right. But that's not what I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on these actors, right, and these politicians, these damn movie stars and rappers and entertainers and whatever these pastors with these billion-dollar jets and million-dollar buildings, these people that have the goods of the world. The fake leaders of Israel, you understand? The rich of Israel. These people that have the goods of the world, that don't give to their brothers, that don't care to help their brothers, that don't care to fight with their brothers, that don't care about what happens with their brothers. You understand?
Right.
This is who this scripture is talking about. Let's get that again from the top.
Verse 17. But whoso hath this world's good.
Having this world's goods, you understand? Having acres of land, having jets at your disposal, 8, 9, 10 cars, 7, 8, 9 homes, got big properties, big churches where brothers and sisters can't go sleeping. Got all these big super churches. That's what they call them, right? Super churches. You got regular churches, and then you got super churches. Come on with it, sir.
Mega churches.
Mega churches. Jeez Louise. They got mega churches. And no brothers and sisters can sleep in there. They're not housing the Church of Israel. They only house you for a small period of time to take your money and send you back out into that world until you have some faith, have some hope, brother, and come back next week with another $20 and drop it in the bucket.
Right.
Come on, you want to say something, sis?
Church is closed. Some of them can't even open back up.
That's the Lord's doing. Let's get the Lord a hand. Shutting down this damn building of the devil. So we know the Lord don't dwell in buildings with a hand anyway. You understand? That's not where the Lord is at in the first place.
Right.
So thank the Lord for closing them damn mega churches. You understand? We need to make some mega hotels out of them places and put the children of Israel up in there for free. That's what we need to do with them damn buildings. All that space they have. You understand? All the access and resources that's at their disposal.
Right.
The goods of this world. Let's keep reading.
God. Salakia.
Yeah, verse 17.
Let me read from the top. But whoso have this world's good, and seeth his brother have need.
And you see your brother has need. You see the children of Israel needs help. You see that we need a helping hand. Tyler Perry out there, man, he's so-called slept in his car. And he went through all that pain and all that struggle and all these things that he had to overcome and come through as a black man to make it to where he's at. And what does he do? He opens up his home to the the princess and the prince, so they can live somewhere because they going through it. Surely the castle was dangerous. Living in the castle is dangerous. Being prince and heir to the throne, it's so dangerous that I'll give you my house. But you make nothing but movies targeting young black women in Israel, and I have yet to see you throw a helping hand to any one of them.
Right.
I have yet to see you help anybody that looks like you. But have the goods of these worlds and see that their brothers have need. You understand? Right. Another man. They just let Bill Cosby up out of jail, right? He beat that case. You understand? I'm happy for the brother, you know, because he ain't following the Lord's laws, but damn, he a brother and he beat the white man in court, so I ain't mad at him. Right. You know, he got up out of there. He didn't do it because he beat the case. But he's another one. I have never heard other comedians talk good about Bill Cosby.
Right.
All the other young up-and-coming comedians that came after Bill Cosby all said the same thing. He act funny. He uppity. He this. He that. He used to say that they up there talking that nigger comedy. And he can't stand the nigger comedy because they might talk about things that happen in the hood. Right. Things that the children of Israel can relate to. Right. Things that the world don't want to speak about. Things that everybody that's at home spending all this money making all these people so rich and so damn famous forget about. Because now they got acres. And he got the resources that he can tap into. And he got friends in high places. And he getting on jets. And he has 8, 9 cars. So they don't care about the problems that's going on in the ghetto no more. That doesn't concern him. Right. He's graduated past that. And then look down on the brothers that came after him. And then look, he got his own little situation, right? He got jammed up, got caught up. And now people are looking at him. And he's looking for help. He's looking for people to help him. Right. Got a little article right here. I think this is a TMZ article talking about Bill Cosby. It says, Bill Cosby potential stand-up tour faces pushback from famed comedian venues. From all the famous comedian venues that he's used to going to, they all giving him pushback. And they don't want him in the damn clubs. New York City's Comedy Cellar in particular rejected a potential stand-up appearance from the disgraced comedian at their venue. Late last month, reports surfaced confirming that American stand-up comedian and actor Bill Cosby has been released from prison after the court overturned his sexual assault conviction. You understand? This is all talk about what happened with him. Y'all know what happened with him. Everybody knows. They've been talking about it. That's not what I'm here to promote. It's not what we're going to talk about. You understand? So we're going to drop down and skip over all that trash that he dealt with his own life. And we're going to get to what's going on here. Shortly after his release, TMZ reported the disgraced comedian was planning a comedy tour on the heels of his release. According to publication now, several renowned comedy clubs, including New York City's Comedy Cellar, are not interested. Because he was living his life, but he was chasing after what the other nations wanted. Right. He was trying to please Massa. Right. He was doing everything, make sure Massa all right. You understand? Like, Massa, you sick? Then we sick, Massa. Massa, you fine? Then we fine, Massa. Right. And throwing hate and shade towards his brothers. The young brothers coming up after him who probably sat in their house and probably wanted to be a comedian because of Bill Cosby. Right. Probably even got into that line of work from watching that brother succeed in what he was doing. And he threw nothing but shade and hate and pulled the ladder back up when he got up there. Right. And now he got his own little situation and he's watching these resources, the goods of the world, you understand? His goods of the world be taken away from him. Noam Dorbin, the popular New York City venue owner, told TMZ that Comedy Cellar is not one bit interested in working with Cosby and doesn't even want him to step foot inside the club. They said they don't want him in the club. They said you can't come watch the comedy that we got going on at the club. And these are people that, of course, are not of his, you know what I'm saying? They're not Israel.
Right.
They're not his brothers.
Right.
They're not his sisters. But because he was one of these people who's seen his brothers and his sisters hurting, who's seen his brothers and sisters in need of help, and had the worldly goods, and refused to help, now the tables have turned on him. And now he's sitting there being banned from these comedy clubs. And if he had some brothers in him, if he was following what the Lord said, and he was looking out for his brothers, taking care of his brothers, he would have been in every black comedy club all throughout the world.
Right.
All the nice underground spots where all the good names is at. Where you get the good laughs and you make your stomach hurt. Where you get the good comedy at. He would have been able to go up in there. But because this oppressor that he was chasing to serve, these other nations following after these heathens, cared nothing about him, they throw him right back out there with the fishes. Like, man, listen, you can't even come in here. I don't care if you beat your case, you cannot come in here. They don't have no love for him. It says, is not one bit interested in working with Cosby and doesn't even want him to step foot inside the club. While the venue is known for allowing slightly unhinged comics and content to hit the stage, Cosby will be the one exception. And why is he the one exception? Because he is a child of God. Because you are of the children of Israel, you are being blackballed, and they will push you out to make it look like you are the evilest, wickedest thing in the world.
That's right.
When you learn these things, follow it after them.
That's right.
I think all the damn women he drugged looked like little oppressor boys in the first. Like there was some ugly looking creatures he was messing with, man. Like some nasty, ugly creatures he was messing with, man. And that wasn't of the Lord either. That's why he's getting all these problems and all this rejection and pushback from him trying to get back out there.
Right.
From him trying to probably make a living to feed his family. Because I could imagine them legal fees tie some of that money up. Yeah. It says, notably, the club allowed Louis C.K. and Aziz Ansari to make an appearance in 2018 following their sexual misconduct allegations. So it's not about what he did. It's not because you got in trouble with these so-called sexual allegations that you've just been released from jail for it, which means that you didn't do it in the first place. You beat the case. So it's not about that, because they said they had other comedians come and do it. One of them is the oppressor, the other one's a heathen. You understand? Right. The problem is who you are. Right. But he doesn't understand that. Right. He doesn't even understand that he should have showed love to his brothers. Right. He doesn't understand what it says in 1 John chapter 3, verse 17. Let's get that again, Baba Kushak.
1 John chapter 3, verse 17. But whoso hath this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shut up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwell the love of the Most High in him?
And that was his problem. He doesn't have the love of the Most High God in him.
Right.
Because he was in that position of power for years, decades upon decades. And all he did was keep pulling that ladder up higher and higher. He didn't show compassion to his brother that had need.
Right.
He didn't show compassion to the children of Israel that were coming after him. In fact, he told bad about them. He rejected them and made them feel away to the point where they all knew, man, we don't mess with Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby don't mess with us.
Right.
You understand? Bill Cosby had things messed up.
That's a lot.
Come on with it.
He told the black man to be good at flipping burgers.
Be good at flipping. Remember that? Like, Jesus, please, man. That's type of energy he had. That's the type of mindset he had towards his brothers.
Right.
That's the hate that was in his heart for his brothers. That was installed there by the oppressors and other nations that he was hanging out with, that he was trying to be like, that he was chasing, trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
And you associate yourself with animals and beasts like they are. You start to love what they love and hate what they hate.
That's right.
So he loved that money and he hated blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
Can't stand them, don't want them around, just hate them. Just like the damn oppressor he was serving. And just like that, the Lord pushed it right back in his face, and now he can't get up in none of these clubs. But if he was showing to his brothers, if he was doing what he was supposed to do, man, it wouldn't even matter that them oppressors don't want them in this comedy club.
Right. Because
he had made so much bank going across the black-owned comedy circuit.
Right.
Going across the black comedy club. They got black Twitter, they got black comedy too. Everything that they do, we do it better. They take it from us and they try to make a little money off of it.
Right.
But it comes from us in the first place.
Right.
All that money he had, if he was smart, he would have had a damn comedy club. You tell me he can't go in no comedy club. Let me get Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Bible shot.
God.
And these are the type of people that push and promote this agenda that is of this crafty council and all these other nations that want our brothers and sisters to hate each other, that want our brothers and sisters to run out there and believe that they can be who they want to be and they don't have to deal with nobody else, they don't have to care about nobody else. It's all about the money, and teach them to be individualites.
Right. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Or I have it.
Come.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
What?
Thou shalt not hate. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
It says you cannot hate your brother in your heart. And I ain't talking about that thing in your chest that pumps blood through your veins. I'm talking about in your mind, the heart of the body. You cannot hate your brother in your heart. Bill Cosby didn't know these things.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to practice these things. He hated his brothers in his heart.
Right.
He's teaching other people to hate their brothers in their heart. All these puppets that this oppressor uses and puts in these temporary seats of high seats or temporary seats of famousness, celebrity, stardom, and all that other garbage that have the children of Israel look at them like there's something so special or something to be captured and held and just amazing. And the oppressor is behind you pulling these puppet strings and telling you what to tell the children of Israel, trying to program the children of Israel to do things that the Lord doesn't want, to do things that go against the Lord, and you being the tool for it, turns you rotten and evil as well.
Right.
You understand? Spoils your mind as well. And you learn to hate your brother in your heart. You don't even know how it started. Ain't Bill Cosby the damn Cosby Kids?
Right.
Did he write Fat Albert? Did he not come off from showing up all that black love that was in Philadelphia?
That's right.
Is that not how he started? By showing all that brotherhood? And then they stole it right up out of him.
Right.
They stole it. He let it happen. So, it is what it is. He let it happen. Let me get that again from the top.
God. Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
And you should not hate your brother in your heart, man.
Right.
We're going to drop that. We're going to go to the book of Psalms. We're going to go to chapter 50. 50 and 19.
God. Psalms chapter 50, verse 19. Or can I have it?
Come.
Thou givest thy mouth to evil.
What?
Thou givest thy mouth to evil.
Okay.
And thy tongue frameth deceit.
It says, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. And this is what so many children of Israel are being taught by this world that we live in, man. We are being taught to not love our brothers and sisters, to talk lies on our brothers and sisters. It spreads like wildfire, man. And it starts with this oppressor who naturally hates all people.
Right.
Who has a perpetual hate in his heart for our people. And he trip up 50, 60 of them and have them out there pushing the same agenda, man.
Right.
Pushing the same agenda. To where we have no idea who to believe, who to trust, and then what we do, lean into our own understanding.
Right.
Become individualites. Think we know best. Because there's so many ways to error. Lucky, sir. What scriptures? I'm paraphrasing it again too. What did it say? The straight and narrow is the straight and narrow the straight road is narrow, and sin is a wide road. It's easy to fall into sin.
Right.
It's hard to walk straight.
God.
It's hard to be righteous. It's hard to do what the Lord said to do. It's hard to turn down that money and love your brother.
Right.
It's hard to turn down that deal because they didn't treat your brother fairly. It's hard to be brotherly and it's hard to be sisterly, but it is so necessary.
Right.
Let's get verse 20. Baba Kushak.
God, verse 20. Thou sinnest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
It says, thou sinnest and speakest against thy brother. Now, how many times you hear, it's damn near entertainment for them.
Right.
They love to hear blacks and so-called Spanish and Native Indians argue and bicker and beef and talk down and disgusting and filthy and just viciously about each other.
Right.
They make TV shows out of it. They make morning radio news out of it.
That's right.
Everybody gets paid off of the slander and the disrespect of your name.
That's right.
Of the slander and the disrespect of your nation, of your brothers, of your sisters, disrespecting our Father, the Most High God.
Right.
Everybody gets a piece of that pie. And what we get gun violence in our neighborhood.
Right.
We get gang banging. We get unsafe neighborhoods. We get a raise in the death rate. We get nothing good.
Right.
But the people that's back there pulling these strings and fighting for these things, they get big banks.
That's right.
They get big banks. They take the bags home. And we get the terrible neighborhoods. We get to bury our kids at 12 years old.
Right.
We get to go visit our sons and our daughters in the penitentiary.
Right.
We get lack of and loss of brotherhood because Miss Brenda and them and her children over there know that Joe's son shot her nephew and now they don't like your family and all this garbage that comes with all these things that's unnecessary in the first place.
Right.
All this garbage that comes with all these things that are not of the Lord in the first place. We gotta do better. Let me get that again, Baba Kushak.
God, thou sinnest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
We slander our own mother's son, man. Down to real brothers and sisters, man. If you grew up with siblings, man, you know and you understand that sometimes they make you want to pull their head off their shoulders.
Right.
You know? Just pull their head off their shoulders and punch a hole in their chest.
God.
Because of the way they can lie.
Right.
The way they can set you up. The way they can talk about you like you never meant nothing.
Right.
Like y'all didn't grow up together, you never did anything for them. Just the way that they can come off and offend you. But you know we learn here in I.S.U.P.K in the Command Journey, YAHANNA, we learn how to deal with our brothers and our sisters.
That's right.
We learn how to ignore the things that don't matter, look past the disrespectful words, see the pain, acknowledge the pain, and help if we can. And we also learn to walk away from things sometimes.
That's right.
You understand? Sometimes you can just walk away from things, man. And just leave it how it is, man.
Damn right.
I'm paraphrasing, of course, but matter of fact, let's get that real fast. Let's grab that real fast. Let's get Matthew chapter 12 real fast.
God.
And we're going to see what Christ said about things like that, right? Because our brothers and our sisters to our mother, they can sometimes have a hold on you too, you know, because we care so much for them. That the things that they say, it can infuriate you. It can have you ready to cause harm.
Right.
But we have to know how to hold our composure and be better than that. And follow after Christ. Because Christ was the ultimate brother.
That's right.
Christ is the perfect example of what brotherhood is.
That's right.
And sisterhood is synonymous with brotherhood, so you can follow him too if you was a sister. Let's start at 47, Baba Kushak.
God. Matthew chapter 12, verse 47. Or I can have it.
Come.
Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brother stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
And this is Christ is outside one day, man. And one of his brethren that was next to him talking about, yo, man, your mom's and your brother over there. They look like they want to talk to you. They're desiring to speak with you. Let's get to the next part, Baba.
Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother? and who is my brethren?
And that's what Christ answered the man that told him that. The man that brought this to Christ's attention, that his mother and his brother was over there wanting to speak to him. He asked them. He said, "Man, listen, who is my mother and who is my brother?"
Right.
You understand? This is a good question. And then for teaching, this is how you get people on beat. This is how you bring people up to speed. Sometimes they might ask you something. You ask them a question right back, and let them answer their own question.
Right.
And get there on their own. It's a great teaching part. It's a great teaching tool.
That's right.
Let's get some more of that. Bubble shut.
Verse 49. And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, "Behold, my mother and my brethren."
And he looked around at his brothers that was around him, the people that was doing what he was doing, that was on the same page that he was on. And he said, "This is my mother and my brethren." He stretched his hand to his disciples, the people that was following him. Let's get some more. Let's get the last of that.
God, verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
And that's what he told him. He said, whoever's doing the will of my Father in heaven is my mother and my brother and my sister. You understand? So he wasn't caught up and tripped up with what we were talking about in Psalm. Because sometimes we have family members that come from the same mother as us, come from the same loin and bloodline, but following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, you understand that all of Israel is your brother and your sister.
Right.
And it's nothing to have another brother. It's nothing to have another sister. You're going to have brothers and sisters that you never met before the truth that are going to be greater and better siblings to you than anybody that came out of your mother's area that you came out of.
That's right.
Anybody that grew up in the same house as you, who you would think, like, man, we should know the same thing. Me and you should speak the same language. We grew up in the same house together.
Right.
And they might be one to be a liar and be deceitful and talk ill on your name. And then you find brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K, the manager and YAHANNA.
That's right.
And you never have to deal with those type of things ever again.
Right.
Thanks be to the Most High God.
Right.
Let's see how you should deal with our brothers. Let's get Zechariah chapter 7. Bible shut.
God.
And we're going to see how we should deal with our brothers and our sisters.
Where we at?
Zechariah chapter 7. We're going to start at verse 9.
Zechariah chapter 7, verse 9. Or I can have it.
Come.
Thus speaketh the Most High of hosts, saying, execute true judgment.
This is what the Lord said, man. The Lord of hosts, man. Speak of the Lord of hosts. That's the Most High God, man. Because what they don't understand is the Lord is a man of war as well.
Right.
That's
You
right.
understand? The Lord is a man of war, man. Ain't no sissy, ain't no chump. Christ wasn't no sissy, wasn't no chump. It's not in the children of Israel's nature to be these things. But let's get that again from the top. Baba Kushak.
Good. Verse 9. Thus speaketh the Most High of hosts, saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother.
It says execute true judgment. You understand? Be truthful with your brothers, man. Can't be lying on our brothers, man. If they did something, they did something, man.
Right.
You ought to tell them about it, tell them about it, tell them the truth about it. Sugarcoat nothing. But have mercy and compassion on your brother, man. Gotta have mercy and compassion on your brother as well.
That's right.
Because we want these things from the Lord. How are we gonna want these things if we can't show these things? How are we gonna receive these things if we can't give these things? It says freely you receive, so freely you should give, right?
Right.
This is the things that we should do. This is an acceptable way to treat our brothers and our sisters.
That's right.
Let's get the next verse.
Good. Verse 10. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor. And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart.
And it says, don't oppress your brothers, man. Don't oppress the widow. Don't oppress the fatherless. Don't oppress the stranger nor the poor. And we should never, ever, ever, ever have evilness in our heart towards our brother.
Right.
We should not want to see our brother do bad. We shouldn't be rooting to see the brother or the sister's destruction or the brother or the sister's downfall. Here in the I.S.U.P.K, we proved that all the black suspension Native Indians wake the hell up and get up in this body and come serve the damn Lord.
Right.
So we can all be brothers and sisters how the Lord intended to be. These are things that we wish for. We don't wish evil on nobody, not the children of Israel. And these are things that we should know. These are ways that we should treat our brothers. We're going to go right to the next book, sir. We're going to go to Malachi.
God.
We're going to go to 2 and 10, barbecue shop.
God. Malachi, chapter 2, verse 10. Or Akim Aqua have it?
Come.
Have we not all, Salakia, Malachi chapter 2, verse 10. Have we not all one Father?
And this is a question being posed, right? Don't we have all one Father? Isn't there a Father of everybody? A Father of the earth? A Father of the humans? Just a Father, Most High God, the Creator? Don't we have a Father? Look at some more.
Have not one power created us?
And has not one power created us? The Most High God, the power of all powers? Has He not created us? Did He not create all the children of Israel? Did He not create all 12 tribes? Let's get some more.
Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother?
And why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother? You understand? This is a question that was asked. The truth be told is because this crafty council set up, man. Crafty council set up. That's it. They that hate me have lifted up their head.
That's right.
And they do it in much pride. And they have conversed and tricked our brothers and sisters to thinking and living like them. Our brothers and sisters out there dealing treacherously with each other from following after customs that's not of ours.
Right.
Wanting to be like people that's not of us. Chasing this gangster image.
Right.
This thug life that we know nothing about. If we was living thug life, we wouldn't have had nobody imprison us for 500 plus years.
That's right.
It would have been thug life then. I ain't with it. It wouldn't have happened. But that's not who we are. That's not what we do. But the beast and the animal that had his foot on our neck, that has his foot on our neck, they like that. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor is ruthless, man. The oppressor is ruthless. Our brothers and sisters out there in the neighborhoods, in the ghettos, in the barrios, in favelas all over the world, trying to be something they are not, trying to chase this gangster image, this thug image, when the person that you're trying to be like is ruthless.
Right.
You will never can pass the way he's doing. He is ruthless. Talking about skinny human being alive, ruthless. We just out there shooting guns at each other. Trying to follow behind this monster who loves bloodshed.
Right.
We need to wise up and understand and realize, don't we all have one Father? And have not one power created us all?
Right.
Has not one power created us all? All the children of Israel.
Right.
From Judah to I.S.U.P.K. The same power created all of us. So why do we deal so treacherously with each other? Let's get the rest of that.
God, by profaning the covenant of our Father.
And that's how we deal treacherously with, by profaning the covenants of our fathers, by disrespecting and disregarding and not acknowledging and not exalting the word of God.
Right.
These laws, statutes, commandments that's written in this Bible. The way to live that the Lord gave to us, to a certain people. You understand? A people that He chose. He could have chose anybody else.
Right.
He could have chose anybody else. And the scriptures say, I'm paraphrasing, of course, He said if I would have gave it to anybody else, they would have listened.
Right.
Right.
But He chose to give it to us because He loves us that much.
Right.
And look what we do with it. We deal treacherously with one another.
God.
Profaning the covenant. Acting like it means nothing. Wanting to go serve other gods.
Right.
Do our own thing. Freestyle. Living their own life. Like, it's just, the things that we do unspokenly, because a lot of brothers and sisters don't even know what's in these scriptures, man.
Right.
Being up in these damn churches, man, they don't even know what's in these scriptures. They don't even know the power that these words possess. And I pray one day that we all start understanding what's going on here so we can change ourselves.
That's right.
Let's drop that. Let me get we'll go over to 1 John. Go back to 1 John.
God.
Go to 1 John 1, chapter 2, and verse 9.
God. 1 John chapter 2, verse 9. Or I can have it.
Come.
He that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now.
Says he that say he loves his brother and is in the light. It's a lot. You read it again, Moshe?
God. Verse 9. He that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now.
It says if you say that you're in the light and you hate your brother, you are in darkness, man.
Right.
You are unaware what was going on.
Right.
The dude 20 words, you know what I'm saying? You're not woke. You're walking around sleeping, thinking you have any idea what's going on, but you out here and you hate your brothers. You think you so righteous, but you can't stand so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indians. That's what grinds your gears. That's what gets you mad. When you see a Black or Hispanic or Native Indian that needs some help. You see a Black or Hispanic or Native Indian that's living to a standard that you think is not what they should be doing. And it pisses you off. And you're so angry. But you think you in the light. You think you know what's going on. But you don't got enough sense to love your brother and your sister. Let's get the next one.
God. Verse 10. He that loveth his brother abideth in the light.
It says the ones that love their brothers abide in the light. They live in that truth. You understand? That's part of what the Lord said, man. You can't love God and not love your brother.
Right.
It's outrageous. It doesn't go together.
Right.
You can't do these things. Let's get some more of that.
God. And there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
And there's no stumbling in it. Ain't no back and forth. It's not conditional. It's not because of this, or because you gave me that, or because you helped me move last week, or because you let me hold that $20, or because of anything. It's because the Lord said so. You understand? Right. We love our brothers and our sisters because the Lord said so.
That's right.
Plain and simple. Should be the only reason why anything gets done or you do anything, because the Lord said so. It's so easy.
Right.
It's so easy. Let's get that one time.
God, verse 10. He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
And there ain't no stumbling in them.
Right.
You understand? He's not going back on it.
Right.
He's not being tripped up on it. He's not playing the fence. He loves his brother.
Right.
He shows it. He lives it. It's part of his truth.
Right.
He's keeping the commandments. He's doing what the Lord says. Let's get the last one.
God. Salaki, verse 11.
Come on.
Verse 11. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness.
But if you hate your brother, man, you are in darkness. You understand? Darkness, not knowing, in the wrong.
Right.
Evil. You understand? Just off. It's an off spirit.
God.
To be in the darkness is to be off. It's to not be where you should be, man. They tell you to walk in the light, right? They want you to walk in the light, even. I ain't referring to them people, man. All right, come on, somebody.
And walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth.
And you don't know whether you're going or coming. You don't know whether you're doing good or you're doing bad. You don't know if you're going up or you're going down. Because you're walking in the darkness.
Because that darkness hath blinded his eyes.
Because the darkness has blinded your eyes. You can't even see what's right.
Right.
You can't even see that you're doing wrong.
Right.
You can't even see that you're doing evil. You don't comprehend that you just don't know. Because the darkness has blinded your eyes.
Right.
Walking around grabbing and gaping at things because you don't know what's going on. You need to get your eyes opened up, man.
That's right.
Get your eyes opened up, get some light in there. And where you gonna get that from? From these scriptures.
That's right.
From the Most High God. From the prophets that was here before us. You understand? From our ancestors, our brothers and sisters that kept these records for our learning. So anything that was written aforetime was written for our learning.
Right.
It's not to be disregarded. It's not to be a damn cup holder in the kitchen.
Right.
To prop up your TV. It's not what the Bible's for. Taught to you. So I was gonna say read, right? It's to be taught to you. You can't read these scriptures and think you know what's going on.
Right.
Somebody has to teach you these scriptures. That's why how we started this class was so powerful, because two are better than one.
That's right.
Somebody has to teach you these scriptures. You can't sit in the house and read this Bible and tell me you know what's going on. Who taught it to you? Even Christ said, when two or three are gathered, I am present.
Right.
He didn't say when he outside, I'm with him. He said, when two or three are gathered, I am present. Because it's good to do things together. You understand? And we already started doing the things. The people that got it from us and took it and tried to run with it and ran it straight into a wall. Why not turn around, bring yourself back here to the home and build with your brothers and sisters? Get back in here and build with your brothers and sisters, man. Get back to the truth. Get back to the Lord, because you know where he's at. It's evident. The home of the truth.
That's right.
Kevin Cesario said something so powerful the other day. He said, man, I would only want to go to I.S.U.P.K. because we are the only place that says the home of the truth. He said, well, if I go there and ask other people, you got the truth? But I got 75% of it. I got a little bit of the truth. Where'd you want the whole truth?
Word.
You gotta follow, man. Get back, follow orders. Get back in line and follow these orders and come up in here and build this nation, man.
That's right.
Do the Lord's work.
That's right.
Don't be so damn selfish. Stop being an individualite. Come here and do the Lord's work. And do it with the men that's already doing the Lord's work. And the I.S.U.P.K. command Journey YAHANNA, man.
That's right.
Let me get Micah real fast.
Come on.
Micah 7:2. Yeah, you read.
Micah chapter 7, verse 2. Or I can have it.
Come.
The good man is perished out of the earth.
It says the good man is perished out of the earth, man. The doing right is almost like doing wrong nowadays, man.
Right.
You're out there doing what the Lord says and keeping these commandments and living upright and living righteously, and we're looked at like we're crazy.
Right.
We're looked at like the crazy Negroes on the corner. Them loud, screaming niggas on the corner. Thinking we doing something that's outrageous or something that's wrong. They try to tell us that we don't love women. And we it's the only place in the world that really loves so-called Black Hispanic Native
That's
Indians.
right.
Man, woman, and child. It's the only place you're gonna see real love.
Right.
Real love with that correction and chastising.
Damn right.
You understand? The way the Lord do it.
Right.
The way it's supposed to be done. But the good is perished off the earth. It says the good man is perished off the earth. Let's keep reading.
God. And there is none upright among men.
I said, and there ain't none upright among men. You understand? If you're not up in this I.S.U.P.K, man, under the command of YAHANNA, man, keeping these laws, statutes, commandments to the Most High God, man, you are not upright. You are not upright.
Right.
Care how you flip it, twist it, try to play it, explain it, give you reasons for it. If you're not up in this school doing the work of the Lord, following the minutes already doing the work of the Lord, you're not upright. Let's finish this up.
God, they are lie in wait for blood.
They are what?
They are lie in wait for blood.
So they out there waiting for blood. They out there acting like animals.
Right.
Out there acting like animals, chasing that blood. You know, that's what gets sharks going. They smell that blood, they get them going. They ready.
Right.
Them animals, man, acting like animals. Out there lying in wait for blood.
They hunt every man his brother with a net.
They hunt who?
They hunt every man his brother with a net.
Hunt his enemy.
His brother.
Hunt his oppressor.
His brother.
They hunting their brothers, man.
Right.
And that's what the world is producing, man. If you're not out here following these laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High God and the I.S.U.P.K, which command during YAHANNA, the more times than not, you are an unrighteous man out in this world, lying in wait for blood, hunting your brother.
Right.
Not even your enemy. Not even the oppressor. Not the person that's drawing blood from you, but your brother.
Right.
This is who you decide to hurt. This is who you decide to kill.
Right.
This is who you bring pain to. Somebody at the door. Don't do that. What?
Okay.
This is who you want to bring pain to, man. Your damn brother. And you know where you get this from? You get this from the damn oppressor. This is the oppressor ways. This is not ways that the children of Israel should carry on with. These are not things that we should be doing. You understand? You get these things from the oppressor.
Right.
And we're going to prove it. We're going to prove it. We're going to go to Lamentations. I think that's 4:18. No sweat, sir. I want you to hold that scripture, right?
God.
But we're gonna go to Lamentations 4:18.
God.
Because this the way that our brothers and sisters are carrying on and living is not of us, man. That's of this damn filthy beast.
Right.
That our brothers and sisters tend to want to serve. You understand? This filthy beast that's done corrupted and polluted the minds of our brothers and sisters. That's not of the children of Israel. That's not how we should deal with one another.
God. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 18. Or Aqua have it?
God.
They hunt our steps, and so that we cannot go in our streets.
They what?
They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
So that we can't go in our own streets in our own neighborhood. They are hunting our steps. Let's read Micah chapter 7 verse 2 again, Micah.
Micah chapter 7 verse 2. No. The good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men.
Right.
They all lie in wait for blood.
Right.
They hunt every man his brother with a net.
And they hunting their brothers with nets. And the oppressor was doing what? The oppressor did what in Lamentations?
They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
And they doing the same thing that this oppressor's doing, man.
Right.
Following after this beast and this filthy, disgusting heathen.
Right.
Got our brothers and sisters treating each other as if they're an oppressor.
Right.
Got our people oppressing our own people.
That's right.
With the lies they tell, with the way they deal with one another, with the way they look at one another, with how they feel about one another in their hearts. Come on with it, sir.
No, what you're saying is so heavy because we got a tendency for emulating the other nations.
Right.
The other nations hate each other. They kill each other. So if we study their habits and their ways, then we're gonna react like that towards our people.
Right.
While the scriptures tell us to love each other.
Right.
You understand? So if we just do what the Most High said and follow his culture, his Lord, statutes, commandments, there will be no bloodshed amongst each other.
Right.
But yet, we grow up, we in our oppressors, set up, so we learn in his ways.
Damn right.
His ways is death.
Damn right. Damn right, sir. Damn right. You say it's very, very true, sir. And that's the gist of it, man. We out there following what they doing, and it's causing nothing but death and destruction for our people, man.
Right.
Because the oppressor damn sure does hate one another. They hate everything about each other.
Right.
And the scriptures say for us they say, by this will they know that you are my disciples. You understand?
Right.
The queen went and checked Solomon and realized God, he's different.
Right.
He's different. There's something about this guy. Whether it was the laws.
Right.
They call Christ perfect. He said, why you call me perfect? Why you call me good? Ain't nothing good with me.
Right.
You know who's good? The laws that the Most High God gave.
Right.
If I wasn't following them, you wouldn't notice how good I am.
Right.
It's all with the Lord, man. It's all back to the Lord in the first place, man.
That's right.
Let's drop that. Let's go to 1 John 4:20.
God.
Let's get to the nitty gritty at the bottom of it and see what the Lord says about
God.
all these oppressive ways that we have against our brothers and our sisters, and if He jacks them or if He despises them.
God. 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. Or Akimaku have it.
God.
If a man say, I love the Most High, and hateth his brother he is a liar.
Lord said, man, if you say you love God, but you hate your brother, you're a liar.
Right.
And I like this. It's so plain and simple. Like you can't get around it.
Right. Right.
So you love God, but you hate John. You're a liar.
That's right.
You're a liar. How you gonna hate your brother and love God?
Right.
First of all, we God's children. We all God's children.
Right.
We read that in Malachi. Like, don't we have the same Father? They're not the same power creators?
Right.
So why do we deal so treacherously with each other? Because I know nobody can walk in my house and tell me they love me and then beat and attack and be evil to my children.
Right.
Right.
That's not going to work.
Right.
I love you, but I can't stand your kids. I want to smack one of your kids. I just want to smack them. But I love you. You're a liar, man.
Right.
Let's get that from the top. Okay?
God. If a man say, I love the Most High, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
You're a liar.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love the Most High whom he hath not seen?
The plot thickens. So you can't even see God.
Right.
You might never see God.
Right.
But you love him. And you hate the man that you walk by every day.
Every day. Right.
The brother that live in your neighborhood.
Right.
He used to live in your building. He used to live in your building until he lost his apartment a couple months ago. Now what he do? He dressed him out of the neighborhood. You can't stand him.
Right.
So he was saying, he stink. And he always asking me for $1. And he always want to talk. Hey, stress the God, man. Help that brother out, man. Look out for your brother.
Right.
How can you love the Lord and hate his children?
Right.
It's everything intertwines with each other so perfectly, man.
God.
Because you never know if the Lord sent that brother there for you.
Right.
You might be what that brother needs to get right. But you
Right.
keep giving him the stiff hand. I can't. Withholding your hand from the poor. Then we read that in here that you're not supposed to do that.
God.
This is all the things that the Lord put in place, man, for us to be a great nation, to keep us from being individualites,
Right.
Right.
so that we can be Israelites
Right.
and be a great nation. He said, I will set thee up on high above all nations. You're not talking to one man. You're not talking to a person. You're talking to his children.
Right.
And if you one of the Lord's children, you better get on beat and follow what the Most High God says. Let's get to verse 21.
God, verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth the Most High love his brother also.
And that's all it is to it, man. If you love God, you better love your brother too. If you love God, you better love your sister too, man.
Right.
Because two is better than one, man.
Right.
And we building a nation of great people.
Right.
We're not in the interest of building one great person. We're in the interest of building a nation
Right.
of great people. The Most High God said, gather together, O nation not desired. Not gather together, O person not desired.
Right.
O nation not desired.
That's right.
There's a bunch of us. From Judah to Issachar, man.
Right.
If you one of the Lord's chosen people, man, we need to follow these scriptures and start to love one another. Start to show a little compassion and empathy and forbearing and long suffering for one another, man.
That's right.
Long suffering. Jeez Louise, look how long until we get the word out. Look at we have a little long suffering for each other, man. And with that, we're gonna say shalom. Pass the class over to preaching officer Shaw.
Clap it up for the class.